Hey, members and patrons, just wanted to record a quick little behind the scenes vlog before the end of July. Seems like it's been a while since I've done one of these. I guess it's been about a month by definition. I'm recording this a little early, I guess, before we actually reach the end of July. But depending on when I put this out, it may not make much difference to you. So there's quite a bit to talk about. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the performance of the stuff that I have uploaded in July. I will talk about what I've been working on, what you can expect in August and beyond, and I really do mean beyond, because this vlog is going to get a little meta. That's probably not the right word. It's going to get a little deep in terms of like what my plans are with my channel as a whole, like what my identity is as a creator. Those kinds of conversations. They can be uncomfortable conversations sometimes, but they're conversations that need to happen nonetheless. First off, I do want to admit that around the time that I turned 27 last month, around my birthday, for the first few days after that. First off, my birthday stream went pretty well. Kinsey came over and we streamed PGA Tour for the Wii, and then switched to Mario Kart World, where I did lose the 32 cup race, but then I won a separate 4 cup lobby that we did. But anyway, yeah, the first few days of being 27, kind of depressed a little bit. I was kind of depressed because just to be completely upfront, as I am completing, or had been completing, the rough cut of my retrospective on Star Trek Picard, which just came out recently, and it's obviously going to be like the last retrospective for a while. I was thinking, okay, what is my next move? And I'm started asking like existential questions about what is my goal as a YouTuber? What am I trying to do with this channel? And on the one hand, one might say, why not just go back to basics? So kind of the stuff that I was doing in like 2022 thereabouts, when I was pumping out essays like crazy. Well, unfortunately, the YouTube algorithm has changed. I can't really go back exactly and do the same kinds of videos that I was doing a few years ago, like the alien biology and the future tech and stuff like that. But maybe I kind of can, just in a different way. So not to spoil too much, but this is to say that I do have a plan, and obviously mapping content, I'm going to continue to do that as well. I enjoy that quite a bit. That kind of illustration is fun, but I do have a long-term plan for Star Trek. Before we get deeper into that, I want to talk about stuff that's a little closer to the present. First off, I did a super cut earlier this month, and then the Picard retrospective itself, doing relatively well, obviously getting a lot of engagement, including a lot of divisive, negative engagement, as the retrospectives always do. Obviously, it's just a fraction of the people who actually watch the video, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to more objective content as opposed to opinion-based content. Even though these retrospectives are always, they're more than reviews, but I'm glad that most people enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, please. And I've already released for patrons and members a behind-the-scenes post that shows like the stuff that I am going to be focusing on in August, and that is, well, first off, a video about Trelane, the Strange New Worlds Season 3. First couple episodes came out last week. I just got through watching episode 3, actually. And I have a related shirt. This was a birthday gift. But anyway, Strange New Worlds kind of gave their contribution to the whole "Is Trelane a Q?" question. One might say that, and I saw obviously people like Certifiably in Game, and I guess like Trek Culture, some of those other big channels were putting out videos already. Is Trelane a Q or whatever? So one could say that, and they were getting really good view counts. One could say that the Trelane situation is crazy. So I got to capitalize on that. Now, how come I didn't have one out already? Well, it's because I want to take my time a little bit. As of when I'm recording this, I haven't shot it yet. I do have a script. I'm waiting for a sponsor as well. That's another reason. But, I want to let the Picard video kind of, reach as many people as it can before I throw something else out there. But a Trelane video is coming probably on August 1st if the sponsor stuff works out, the timing of it anyway, I should say. Also, I have a video on The Incredibles that I've teased before, and this is a video topic that I've wanted to explore for a really long time. It's kind of like an alternate history video talking about the world of The Incredibles. It's something I've wanted to make since before I started making Star Trek video essays full-time on this channel. And so Kinsey helped me shoot that, helped edit that, or actually pretty much edited the whole thing, to be honest. And so I'm happy to share that as well. Down the pike, no pun intended, we have augments, augment biology. This is something that I have kind of teased before. In fact, let me take a look at this Discord post that I keep updating of like what is the yeah. It's basically public knowledge at this point. Augments, that's a video. I'm again waiting for a good sponsor on that. I want to release it probably like sometime while season 3 is still airing, so I can capitalize on like the Trek algorithm boost. And we shot a video about Metal Gear Solid 3, which I'm really excited to share stuff like that about that as well, because Snake Eater Delta is coming out this year, next month actually. And then what else have I been working on that I can talk about? Obviously, I sort of have a mapping DS9 type video concept that I have explored. I want to keep that a little bit of a surprise. That might arrive in November. So Augments is probably going to be September, Metal Gear in October, because Phobia is editing that one. And that's when he's going to be available to do it. Mapping the Dominion. I kind of spoiled it a little bit. It's mapping the Dominion War. It's mapping the Dominion War. That's something I've also been wanting to do for a long time. That's probably going to be November, and then Fallout is going to probably arrive in December, and then the animated, not completely animated, the sort of alien biology feature-length video that I've teased that Sean, my illustrator for Endurance, has been doing some Blender animations for. That is also something that I'm cooking as well, and that might be a 2026 video. We'll see, just again, depending on sponsors, and I don't want to crowd too much in 2025 because I want to start spacing things out a little bit so I have more time to do other things. So that kind of gets into a and by the way, all these things that I've mentioned, $2 patrons don't know about all of them yet. If you're watching this, you're a $5 patron or member and above. So I mean, I'm not going to enforce some kind of like secrecy policy or anything, but like the thumbnails and behind the scenes photos, I keep bumping my microphone. The thumbnails and behind the scenes photos for some of those projects down the line, the $2 patrons and members, I haven't, I will be revealing those slowly over time because I want to have something to post, organically each month instead of just cramming it all at once. But that does get into, and also I'm going to be doing some fundraisers for some of these videos on my live streams. So keep an eye out for that. The Star Trek Day stream is probably going to be the next one. I might do the Metal Gear fundraiser for that because I bought a I bought pieces for a costume, and also I'm paying to have, gameplay recorded and the video edited, and then Fallout also is not going to be a cheap video to produce because season 2 is coming in December, and I want to capitalize on that. That's a topic I wanted to explore as well. This gets into why am I kind of holding on to these rough cuts. And again, we haven't even really shot all of this. We've shot a good chunk of it though, and I kind of answered this a second ago because I'm waiting for sponsors and everything. But like, I that really is the main reason. I said because I want to do other things. It is opening up an avenue for me to maybe, I've gotten ahead on some of my 2026 scripts. I have, will have time to maybe watch some TV shows and play some games that I haven't before. But the reason that I'm holding on to a lot of these rough cuts is because I have gotten to the point where, well, first off, I want to kind of transition into like a monthly upload pace, eventually, just so I can have time to work more on each individual project and not, just make them more elaborate, which is a trend that has been going on this whole decade. But I've gotten to where I kind of am super hesitant to release a video without attaching a sponsor to it, and the sponsors kind of dry up after a certain point. So typically the pattern that people like Phobia and I have observed is that in the first quarter of the year, we'll have a lot of sponsor offers because these companies, I guess, have their ad budgets, replenished, and they're just kind of throwing them out left and right. It's almost too much to keep up with, frankly. So that's another reason I'm trying to get ahead on stuff. I'm stacking up some of these rough cuts so I can get some 2026 scripts written, which, by the way, have a lot of really interesting topics planned. It's not set in stone. It's all like tentative, speculative, hypothetical stuff in terms of what I'll actually be covering, but it's going to be interesting. But I'm trying to get ahead because I want to have stuff ready for when I do get sponsor offers. I'm looking for sponsors for these 2025 videos, and then when 2026 comes, I want to be prepared, essentially, if that makes sense. And I've felt a little guilty about this because some people might be like, why don't you just release what you have ready? And to an extent, fair point, but and it also depends on I kind of knew that that Strange New Worlds would throw me a curveball. The Trelane video is definitely like disrupting my original plans for what I was going to upload in August. But even taking that into account, I used to get ahead because I uploaded weekly, and I wanted to, in case I needed to take a break, I wanted to have stuff stacked up in my backlog of rough cuts. Then as I've started to spread my uploads out more intentionally, so I'm going for the quality over quantity model, right? There's been less of a reason to necessarily like work too far ahead, but now there is a reason to work ahead because I am waiting for sponsors. So that's the reason I've been doing that. And so, I'll be sure to continue to release updates for you guys to know what's going on. $25 patrons and members at the $25 level and above are getting some of these rough cuts. But again, some of them might be months early. Some of them might be days before the video comes out. It just really depends. So it is what it is. That's something that I've been a little self-conscious about, but and I, again, functionally to a lot of you guys, it probably doesn't really matter that much. as long as you just get some content. I am going to try to release the rough cuts for some of the stuff that's already done. Try to do that, like try to not hold on to those too long. But again, there might be a gap between those and when the final video comes out. But the $2 patrons will know about this at a different time, and members, and then my public audience will know about this at a different time, usually like a week in advance, right? Is when I announce on my community tab. But it's I'll try to balance it out. But that's the reason that I do that. And then so that also gets into what is my sort of move going forward starting in 2026, because I've teased what is the roster of stuff coming out the rest of this year. Again, I don't want to spoil specific topics. Obviously, there's going to continue to be Trek videos. I think Trek is always going to be part of my channel, but I want to start kind of migrating into some of these one-off topics, kind of centering those a little bit more, putting more production value into them, putting more effort into them, putting more research time into them, putting more turnaround into them, a longer turnaround. And obviously when you do that, if you're a Trek channel, essentially, like I am, you're throwing darts at the wall to see what sticks. Some stuff does well, like my Blade Runner video. Na'vi, obviously that was chasing a trend, sort of. John Titor did surprisingly well. I want to continue to do this, and eventually I've not made it a secret. I want to become one of those YouTubers who can just upload a video on a random topic and it just gets a baseline of views. In order to make that work, you kind of just need like 1 million subs though, which I'm not even at a tenth of that. When I cross 100K, that is going to be such a good feeling. So here's to hoping it happens sooner than later. But I will continue to have, in all likelihood, Trek content for years to come. Even, obviously as Paramount kind of seems like they're paring down the number of series they have ongoing. It'll still give me some inspiration. Hopefully it'll give me an algorithm boost, but eventually I have other interests. I would like to branch out and maybe make branching out what my actual identity is, instead of just being confined to Star Trek, because even though it is my favorite franchise, I want to make videos about other things, and I want to do it more often than I have been. So again, all of you who are supporting me, you largely understand this, and I know that you're going to be looking forward to whatever I've got coming in order to convince my wider audience that this is the right thing to do. It's going to take time. So that's why I've kind of come to terms, and that's kind of what got me out of that little depressive episode earlier this month, is realizing that it really is going to be still a matter of going down both tracks at the same time, instead of just hard pivoting from one to the other. But the good thing is that some of the Trek ideas that I have planned down the line, I'm excited for, just as I am for the non-Trek videos. So, I mean, that's the goal. I want to have fun. I want to continue to build this channel in a productive way, while also not making it feel too grindy, because the job part of the job can really just get to me sometimes, and dealing with these sponsors is already a job in and of itself. So I think trying to just play the long game and just keep the eye on the prize and keep the big picture in mind is the goal. It's hard, especially when a lot of videos don't really do as well as I hope. This happens to all of us. But then other surprises do happen, so you just got to keep uploading. You just got to keep uploading. And I mean, this is my full-time job. I have ideas and ways to maximize revenue in any event, in case there's some catastrophic shit that happens. But the algorithm is very punishing, and it's getting a little bit harder because our economy, is kind of not in a great place right now, and it's seeming like it's going to continue to get worse, especially towards the end of this decade. We might be seeing the next crash. Not to get political or anything, but we all, let's fucking face it, we all see it coming. But anyway, I would rather be doing nothing else professionally, and I probably will cut back. I think not spending $10,000 on a web comic it will help as well with my expenses. Don't get me started on student loan debt. So it's going to be tight, but at the end of the day, I guess what I've realized is that, even if YouTube continues to like kind of suppress me a little bit and favor big channels that already have a lot of subscribers, and the corporate media like CBS and Fox and ABC and CNN, that get pushed on the homepage every day. Nobody wants to actually watch that. If they're going to do that, I might as well just make the videos I want to make when I want to make them. I think paying attention to trends is important. That's why I'm trying to keep my eye on the release date for Fallout Season 2. But that's also just a topic that I've wanted to cover. So it's kind of working out. And now that the retrospectives are over, I have a little bit more leeway to get to some of the topics that I've been putting off. So I think that'll make my audience happy too. So in a nutshell, essentially, again, next live stream probably will be Star Trek Day, September 8th, which is, just a little over a month away. It's not really that far away, all things considered. In terms of what's coming in August, Trelane, Incredibles, hopefully. And then beyond that, we got Augments, and the release dates for this stuff could change, but we got Augments, we got Metal Gear, we've got Mapping the Dominion War, which y'all know about now, Scoundrels, and Fallout, and then the alien biology documentary. I've got some I just realized because Sean sent me the final animation that I needed for the rough cut. I could be showing stuff like that already, like behind the scenes materials. When you're watching this, either they will have come out already or they will be coming out soon for all patrons and members. Just behind the scenes shots for that. As Kinsey said when he was over watching a cut or some of the shots I had completed, he was like, "This is basically just the hardest you've ever worked on anything." And I'm like, I guess it is. I have what I consider to be my magnum opus, and I have maybe various magnum opus throughout my career. And, I don't make any apologies for that. I'm proud of my work. Not everything I've done has been great, but I'm proud of a lot of what I've accomplished. So, but I'm going to reserve this for other people to say if that, we still don't know if the cut of this video works yet. So we'll test it. But look forward to that. And beyond 2025, I don't know, just some more interesting stuff. Some more diverse topics. Put it that way. That's really all I have for this week, or this month. Thank you all for supporting me. Also something else is going to happen on September 8th. I'm going to announce the omnibus for Endurance, all 3 issues put together into one PDF. It's going to be available on Google Drive and also as a downloadable attachment on Patreon and on for free patrons, essentially. I just think that's probably the most straightforward way to distribute it. But anyway, that's all I have for this month. Thank you all for supporting me as always. Hope you guys are doing okay out there. I know it's kind of rough in 2025. But we're we're making it through. We're making it through. And I don't know, Strange New Worlds being back is kind of cool. I have issues with the show, but Star Trek continuing to air new episodes in the present day, it's cool. It's cool. Anyway, that's all I have for this month. I will see you next time, and be sure to be on the lookout for some other behind the scenes materials and photos and stuff like that.